So let's look at creating our first blog entry. Down under the dashboard, the WordPress dashboard, you're going to see all post. And of course, normally you would just delete the first post that's there. We're not going to worry about that. One thing that you'll see here is in the summary page, it will show you the all-in-one SEO entries. It adds that to your listing here. And that's kind of helpful so you can see which ones you've populated and put keywords into. You want to try and put keywords in every single blog entry that you do. So adding a new entry is as simple as clicking the Add New button and starting to enter your information. You have a title, you have the content, the primary content, and then we have the all-in-one SEO information, plus we have categories, which you can see I have not created categories, something you'll want to do, and tags. I don't really use tags. They were very popular a while back, and they can be helpful, but I just find with categories that's enough for what I'm trying to accomplish. Don't try and create so many categories that you can't keep track of them. I think it's better to have fewer, more precise categories, but add them as needed, and you can do what's called nesting categories so that there are categories and subcategories or categories under those categories. But in any case, let's just look at creating a blog entry. One of the things I recommend is writing your blog entries in something like Microsoft Word. I use Word specifically, and there's a reason for that. So if I create a new document, first of all, it's a little bit easier and a little more, I guess, sure-footed than writing on the web. You can certainly type things into the new post, but just font formatting, things like that, just it isn't as simple. And so what I like to do is I go into a Word document and I will actually create the title, and I'll make it I'll use Control-Alt-1 and make it a heading, and I'll say my first blog post. And then I'm going to create my article. So this is where I would write the text. You can also use the other headings in Word, headings 2 and 3 specifically. So Control-Alt-2, Control-Alt-3 to create those, or you can select them, of course, from the menu up here. And I would say important heading. So here's some important information. This is the stuff that is important. Okay, so there we are. We've created a blog entry. Blog entries can be anywhere from 200 words, 300 words, 500 words, 1,000 words. I recommend shorter. If you're going to have longer blog entries, break them into multiple sections. We'll talk about that a little bit in next steps, the final slide after this one. But once I've created some information, I'll also go down and I'll say SEO information. So then I'll put, what do I want the title to be? And I might put something like that. Then I might put description. And I just, once again, like to type it here so it's kind of thought of before I enter the web console for WordPress. A description of my first blog entry. Keywords. And I can then put whatever, number of things there. What that allows me to do is then concentrate just on getting things published. After everything's done, I might have any links that I would need to here. And actually, I can add links right inside my text. So I could put, write the text. I could make that a hyperlink by going to, in Word, the insert, hyperlink. And I could then put google.com, .com. I can say I wanted the target frame to be a new window. Up here and there. And there's the hyperlink. So now I'm going to go and I'm going to move this Word document onto my other screen. I'm using two screens right now just so we can see the WordPress screen. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in my Word document, which you can't see. I'm going to copy the heading, the title of my blog post. I'm just going to paste it in there. And then I'm going to come down into the WordPress. And one of the things you'll see here on your style bar is this thing at the end that says show or hide the kitchen sink. That shows us all the other, the second ribbon on WordPress of additional formatting information. Now I've put my cursor in there, and I'm going to go back to the Word document in the other screen. I'm going to highlight those couple lines that I added. I'm going to go back in here, and then I'm going to click on this icon right here, Paste from Word. And what it does is it just converts your heading style information into what it should be for WordPress. And that's just kind of helpful. It just cuts down on time and makes sure that it doesn't have any weird characters in it. So there I have my information in there. And then I'm going to go down and take the other information I typed into that Word document, the title information, and I'll just paste that into there. Take my description, copy that off screen, paste it into there, put my cursor down in the keywords, copy my keywords from Word, and put them in there. And then, similar to working with Word documents, you should always save. If I was doing a longer entry and more work and some additional formatting, I would have saved earlier, but now either way, I've saved the document. I also want to add a category because I don't like uncategorized. So we're going to add a new category, and we can just type it right here. We're going to make a category called blog. That wouldn't be a normal, well, it would be actually sometimes for categorizing or grouping content together. So add the new category, leave that off as uncategorized. And one of the things that you'll see here, there's additional formatting options, the idea of adding media. And so when it comes in, it has a media library of which I have nothing in there at the moment, and then a way to upload files. So you can drop files anywhere in here. So off screen, I'm going to grab a file. I'm going to grab something that I have under images. My guitar. Sure, I have something somewhere. So I drop it onto the screen. Oh, I made a mistake doing that. Didn't get it picked up by the... Let's try that again. Because I'm specifically putting my cursor up here on the left. Add media. Make sure I get it into the drop area. Now it's adding it. You can see my header is actually in there in the media library. And there's the image. Shows the size of the image, gives it a title. We just might call it guitar. You can actually put a caption on it that appears below it. I typically don't. You can have your alt text. That's what would show up if people had images turned off. My first guitar. It's the guitar I learned to play music on. And then you can set the alignment. I'm going to set the alignment as left. It also resizes it if you want it to be. So 113 by 300. Insert it into the post. Now this particular theme does not wrap titles. And so if I wanted to have more text appear next to it, I'd have to type it. To the left is the Guild Classical I started playing in, gosh, that would have been 1979? 78? I'm not really sure. Okay, something like that. So in any case, we now have a category. The new category didn't remain because I went to the other page, so we're going to re-add that back in. Blog, add the new category, and publish the content. And now that the post is published, let's go take a look and go back to the home page. And there's the first blog post. So if we go to it, there's the link. By default, it actually links to the original image, which we can bring up. It's a beautiful guitar. And if I were really thinking about it, I would probably go here. If I was going to link to that image, I would actually change the link and have it open in a new window. I would also put a title tag in there. Update that link. And update the blog post. So that what we saw when we clicked on it is that it would open in a new tab. Now, important in that also is the fact that we've put our metadata in the all-in-one SEO plugin field so that we can go to View Page Source. And down here, we can see all-in-one SEO pack. We see the description, a description of my first blog entry post, tutorial, and video under keywords. So that's how you publish your first article. And now, of course, it appears in reverse order, so the most recent one on top under recent posts. And that'll kind of get you started blogging. I think you have everything you need to know to get going. Although if you have any questions, please feel free to contact me at info@itcareertoolkit.com. That's info@itcareertoolkit.com. And I'll give you some final ideas on the final slide. And I appreciate you taking this time and giving me your attention.